Hi, everybody. Welcome to Homestead. Welcome to my channel. Got a haircut yesterday. Want to talk about an eruption, I guess, that happened today in Indonesia. But it's going to be a little bit for people to get on, especially because it's Saturday night. Don't know how many people are going to join. I don't have a lot of time, but hopefully I can do a little bit of a live stream. I I was reading a story about an Alaskan volcano that they're watching. I'm not gonna be able to put it on the screen because I'm just doing a simple live stream, just right off of YouTube, the website itself. But let's see, Alaska volcano, and then Indonesia volcano. So Reuters 8 hours ago. Indonesia's Merapi volcano erupts, spews hot cloud. I can't screen share right now because I'm not using OBS, but I would highly recommend that you check that out. There are a lot of pretty incredible videos that show the eruption. And then there's some talk right now about this volcano in Alaska that's showing unrest. Sorry. Let's see, earthquakes at 2 Alaska volcanoes could signal eruption. A second volcano in remote Alaska is experiencing elevated earthquake activity this week, signaling an increased potential for eruption, officials said. Earthquake activity near Takawanga volcano increased over the past 48 hours and are continuing, Alaska Volcano Observatory officials said in a news release Thursday. So what I saw, and I'd probably have to go find it, but they were kind of worried about this one because it could be like a really big eruption. So, Fox News is saying Alaska volcano dormant for a century, delivering ominous warning signs. Significant, let me click on it. Significant unrest. So let's see, how many do we got? 7 people, just 7 people in the live stream. Jeez Louise. Well, I guess that's to be expected. People have better things to do on a Saturday night. In fact, in just a little bit here, I'm going to be taking off. I'm just waiting for my wife to go drop one of our girls' friends off at her house. And then when they get back, I'm going to take off. So they'll probably be back in they'll probably have about 10 to 15 minutes or so. So if you're here and watching, who's here? Where are you from? What did you say? Or did you take the poll that I did today about how many temples you think are going to be announced during General Conference? I would like to know. I'll share the results. Let me pull it up. Put it in the chat. How many temples you think will be announced? I'm going to pull up my community tab. And I'll give you the results. Is anybody here that's willing to chat? There's nothing in the chat. This is the saddest live stream so far. MJ from Midvale. That's in Utah, if you didn't know. Welcome, MJ. I used to go to Midvale all the time, especially to that Fort Union area. So right now, I'm looking at the poll. There have been 249 votes. Most people, or the largest percentage, 44%, think that there's going to be less than 18 temples announced. The next biggest group is 40%, and they think it'll be somewhere between 18 to 24 temples. The next largest is only 11%, and I can't believe that this is the next largest, but they selected more than 30 temples, and then the smallest one is 5% with 25 to 30 temples announced. I myself, I fall within, I'm in the 18 to 24 temple range. I think that's pretty realistic to expect. Jen Naughton's hi from Linden, Utah. MJ says thanks. Susie Huckville, hi from Laramie, Wyoming. Hi, Susie. I don't think I recognize you being in the chat ever before. So welcome. Illy K, hi from the Bay Area. Paul Kramer, Lafayette, Indiana. I love your tubes. Good. Keep up the great work. Thank you. Creative Gene, hey, Jared, smiley face. So, where do you guys fall? How many temples do you think will be announced? And you can just put a range. Maverick, I salute you, Captain. Oh, I've been promoted to Captain. Awesome. I was just a specialist in the Army, but I went the green to gold program is what they call it. When you go from enlisted to officer. I was only ever a junior soldier. In fact, I know that you're just like being funny, but look, this right here, this was my, let me see if I can like that. That was my rank in the Army, E4. In the Marine Corps, if you're not familiar with the ranks, if you're in the Marine Corps, this would be equivalent to a corporal. We have corporals in the Army, but we don't have as many corporals as we do specialists. But I'm not going to explain all that here. 33. Okay, more people are hopping on. So anyway, I'm really interested about all this like volcanic activity. There's been a lot over the last few years. Last year, in the beginning of 2022, we had the largest explosion ever recorded by modern instruments. Now, I don't think they know if it was as big as Krakatoa. I can't remember, but it was the volcano near Tonga. That was the beginning of the year of 2022. It seems like there's been a lot of other significant activity. There was, what's it called? I already forgot the name. Mauna Loa volcano, the largest volcano in Hawaii, which erupted. Although the eruption, it's not like it caused a lot of damage or anything like that, but it was it's the largest volcano in the world. Mauna Loa, that's right. It erupted. It was not like crazy or anything like that, but it erupted, and it hadn't erupted since I think like the 80s or something like that. I already figured out all the details. I did a video about it. And then I think it was last year that we had a pretty dramatic volcanic eruption in Las Palmas, which is part of Spain off the coast of Morocco. And so I just, I feel like the earth is just like, everyone's feeling it. The earth is changing. We're not in the 80s anymore. We're not in the 70s. We're not even in the 90s. We're clearly in a different phase, both with the climate, with the environment, with volcanic activity. The sun even seems to be doing its own thing. These are the signs of the times. So if you're just joining now, I started off this live stream talking about Indonesia's Merapi volcano. You should look that up. Look it up on YouTube or go to Twitter, look up videos, whatever you want to do. It's pretty impressive. It was a pretty big eruption. So far, there aren't any reports of like deaths or anything like that. But that just happened today. We had a big eruption in Indonesia. And then after that, I was talking about the Alaska volcano. I can't remember the name of it. It doesn't matter. It just says, Fox News says, Alaska volcano dormant for a century, delivering ominous warning signs. And there's a bunch of articles about that. USA Today, earthquakes beneath Alaskan volcanoes stoke fear of impending eruption. So I guess that's something that we're going to have to keep our eyes out for. As earthquakes grow stronger beneath remote Alaska volcanoes, risk of eruption increases. A series of rapidly occurring earthquakes beneath two volcanoes in Alaska's Aleutian Islands this week may mean at least one of them could erupt. But while scientists are seeing significant unrest under the volcanoes and observers are concerned, they don't know for sure that it'll happen. I can't share the screen right now because I'm not using OBS. I'm just doing a simple live stream because I'm about to take off in just a little bit, but I just wanted to hop on for a few minutes, say hi, see how everyone's doing, and just talk a little bit. My channel, hi Jared, here Carlos from Salt Lake City. Hi Carlos, I just did an interesting video today about Salt Lake City, about the 1983 floods. So I hope you check that out. I hope everybody does, because it wasn't just about the flood. I feel like that flooding event is tied to President Oaks and President Nelson, because just go watch the video. Okay, I'm not going to rehash it. Watch the video. It's fascinating. The haystack, I'm surprised that he's not on here right now. He like he's always in every live stream. The haystack brought up a pretty good point. Okay, because like you had President Nelson and President Oaks come in at the same time, right? Becoming apostles at about the same time. They were announced at the same time. So you had that twin set of apostles, and then later you had excuse me, Elder Bednar and Elder Uchtdorf that came in at the same time. I don't know how often in church history that's happened, where you have two that come in at the same time. But anyway, there might be something going on there. I've done videos before about Elder Bednar, about how his name is David, and he replaced a David B. Haight. In fact, it had the order in which they were called was significant because it made it so that he replaced the other David. You know, I know that there's like Jody Stoddard brought up like a two David prophecy about them being the two witnesses. I haven't been able to find that anywhere. I think it was probably a misunderstanding. There is a two David prophecy, but it's only referring to the original David. And then in the latter days, there would be another leader of, I guess, Israel or Jerusalem named David, but not a two witnesses prophecy that they would both be named David. But I do think it's significant to point out, sorry, I got something in my eye, that we have David A. Bednar. And by the way, his last name is it's a Jewish name. Did a video about that. So I feel like it's likely that he's probably Jewish. And then we have D. Todd Christofferson, and the D stands for David. So we have two Davids. And even though I can't substantiate a two David prophecy about them being the two witnesses, I still think it's significant that we have two Davids, in that David A. Bednar replaced the previous David B. Haight. Okay. Paul Kramer, Jared, could you please review how many temples have been announced over the past few years? Well, just off the top of my head, because it's easy to remember, because we've been talking all about 17 and 18. You know what? Maybe I can go to a website. No, well, probably not. I'm not going to have time to do that during this. But last year in October, there were 18. In the conference before that, April, it was 17. And we did a whole lot of looking into the numbers 17 and 18, because those weren't the only 17s and 18s during those conferences. So before the October conference, we were having a live stream, and Tyler Cragen from the Greatest Cause channel, he predicted that the October conference would have 18, because up until that point we were talking a lot about 17, and sure enough, it was 18. And President Nelson's main talk of that conference was also 18 minutes. Give me just 1 second. My Roomba got stuck. They're very, very helpful. I love Roombas. I love them. But there's still some kinks that they need to work out. So anyway, okay, Jen Ottens, my friend that accepted a copy of the Book of Mormon from me, met with me on Zoom, and we read the entire preface, testimonies, and first chapters. He wants to meet 2 times a week. Oh, good. Very good. Hopefully he'll want to talk to the missionaries. Once he does, let me know. We'll put it on the tracker. But let's all pray for Jen Otten's friend. That's awesome. Leslie Stahl, love your channel. Smiley face. Thanks for your hard work and bringing us so much great information. Thank you, Leslie. What I'm doing right now is basically a dream job. This is something I've always wanted to do. Well, it's not like I ever thought it was a possibility, but now that it's happening, I realize I've always wanted to do it. It's awesome. H Palm 22. Did y'all read about the worms raining in China? No. I know that there's like sometimes when crazy things like that happen, worms raining, raining in China. There's a few stories over the course of today. They're all mostly from from sites that I don't really recognize. They're like, well, there's MSN. Let's see. China pummeled by rain of worms as residents asked to carry umbrellas. Okay, this is actually from the New York Post. China needs to call Rihanna for some umbrellas to weather this phenomenon of nature. Haha. Citizens of the Chinese city Liaoning were told to find shelter after it looked like it started to rain worms. A viral clip shows the area apparently being showered with little worms, which were splattered all over cars. The video shows residents covering themselves with umbrellas as they go along with their routine and wander past. Gross. Ugh. Disgusting. Sorry, I can't share my screen right now. If you're just joining, I'm not using OBS right now. I'll put the link in the chat though. There it is if you want to check out what I was just reading. Jen Ottens, I'm hoping he will allow the missionaries to come. I did serve a mission in Germany, so I'm confident I can answer his questions. It's a start. Awesome. Snowy Range. I'm trying to find it and time is running out, but there's a principle that what spirit we send out, humanity, we reap in nature. I'll work on that. Yeah, please do. James Anderson, the astronaut got a picture on the next pass. It was a big eruption. The astronaut got a picture on the next pass. It was a big eruption. So you're saying it like an astronaut with like the International Space Station or something got a picture of the eruption in Indonesia? Is that what you mean? Jen Ottens, a named Hurricane Freddy just set the world record for 30 plus days as a rated storm, has crossed the whole Indian Ocean and hit land 3 times. It's over South Africa now. I did a video about that yesterday. As of yesterday, it had not yet broke that record. They said that it's going to take time. The World Meteorological or the WMO, they're going to have to like figure it out because it's had like a interesting life cycle because it's strengthened to cyclone levels and then it's gone back down to tropical storm levels and then down to depression. So there's a lot of things that they're going to look at. It did break one record where I can't remember what it was called, but like the number of times that it strengthened like really fast happened 6 times, which is a world record. The only other hurricane that's been as okay, the number 2 place was 4 and this one was 6. So but it's looking, let me just double check here. So Cyclone Freddy, I'm not seeing anything right now that says that it's broken that record yet, but I think that they think it's going to break the longest lived cyclone / hurricane of all time. But I don't think we're at that point yet. And it's made landfall over Mozambique 2 times and then Madagascar once. It went over it crossed the island of Madagascar. Um, CO2MC number 26. There have been a lot of small earthquakes in Alaska, and a volcano there is on alert. Also, Kilauea, Hawaii volcano, IOS, expected to spew lava again. Yeah, we were just talking about the Alaskan volcano earlier, so we're going to have to keep an eye on that. James Anderson, the cyclone hit both Madagascar and Mozambique, which got hit twice by that storm in different places. Yeah. What's interesting, again, so I did that video first, right? And I looked at how both Madagascar and Mozambique, they actually have temples that have been announced. They're not under construction yet. They're still in the announced stage. But it's kind of interesting that they both experienced this like very strange cyclone. But more than that, I did a video today where apparently President Nelson, when he was in the Quorum of the 12, he was attacked in Mozambique. And then not to say that it's necessarily connected, but I don't know. Um, but the other thing that I turned up was that Mozambique is I guess it's like growing really fast as far as like the church goes and baptisms and converts. And they had a hurricane, or sorry, they call it down there a cyclone. I think it was 2019, either 2018 or 2019, and the church was already growing really fast. But after the cyclone hit, uh, the number, like the growth rate, increased. So I'm wondering if there's going to be the same effect with this one. You know, it's hit Mozambique 2 times now. As of like right now, as we're speaking. In fact, let me look at Zoom Earth really quick. Zoom Earth. Yeah, as of like right now, it is making landfall for the second time over Mozambique. So we're gonna have to see if it decreases in strength and then just kind of ends, or if it's going to come back out to the Mozambique channel and then strengthen again. Anyway, H Palm 22, right? Super nasty. James Anderson, not that one. The one the astronaut got the picture of went off well over a decade ago. Oh, okay. If you haven't, I've shown it a few times on the channel, but look at the eruption from last year. It was the what's it called? Hunga Punga Tapaya High. I don't know. Tonga. Just look up Tonga eruption, and they have video of it from space. It was massive. It was massive. Glenda Wheeler, hi from Salt Lake City. This is all crazy stuff happening. Ooh. Paul Kramer, Jared, all of the great topics you have covered, which ones have really stood out to you? And also, which one have been your favorites? As of late, it's been all the signs in the heavens, because just like so many like rare, what I feel like are rare and very coincidental things are happening. Very well timed astronomical event. Well, not just astronomical, but both in space and also in the sky. There's been a lot, and a lot of it has coincided with special dates on the Hebrew calendar, as well as our own, um, LDS significant dates like General Conference. So that's kind of like what I'm fixated on right now, just because there's so much. I'm also very interested in anything significant happening in Israel or Jerusalem, because I feel like that's very telling. There's just a lot. There's like so many things. Creative Gene, the witnesses are supposed to be able to control weather. Question is, would we know if they were? Yeah, that's the thing. It's kind of like I think about that time in the Book of Mormon. I'm pretty sure it was Nephi. He not the first Nephi, but the Nephi at the time of Christ. The Lord trusted him with delivering punishments via weather, drought, or like whatever he chose to inflict upon the people. The Lord trusted him to do that. And that's what I think of when I think about the two witnesses. And no, how the heck would we know? How would we know unless we they told us? Um, David Broadhead, yo, welcome, David. We were just talking about David's a little while ago. GW Vest. So Watcher Palmer just released a video. Got to go. Okay. Alan Child Alan Child videos. Mount Tambora erupted April 10th, 1815 was the year without a summer, caused the Smith family to move to New York and after their crops failed. Yeah, I've heard about that before. I need to add that to my second coming timeline. Oh, we got another David. David Brosnahan. Look for anomalous ionospheric heating. Okay, maybe I'll do that sometime. It just finished vacuuming. I've loved Roombas ever since we bought our first one. Like, I guess it was in Arizona, so maybe like 4 years ago or something like that. They're awesome. Canal Terra Nova says, I have a channel in Portuguese about natural disasters and can say there are several crazy things happening everywhere. Yep. Yeah, for sure. There definitely are. This year in particular, um, I feel like it's been pretty just jam packed with events, both natural disasters, as well as signs in the heavens, as well as signs in society, signs in Jerusalem. It's just been a very full year, and it hasn't been very difficult at all to do videos. Like there's like never ending content, uh, just based on current events because there's so many right now that seem to be applicable to the second coming in being, signs of the times. One that I want to get into, I feel like it's going to be maybe more difficult to research, maybe not, but it's all these like train derailments. Have you guys heard of Monkey Works? Put a Y, no, put a M for monkey in the chat if you've heard of Monkey Works. He's a Air Force veteran, and he monitors, I guess like the airspace. There's these different like flight tracker websites, and he just uh, has been doing it as a hobby, I guess, and turned it into a YouTube channel. And he watches things from that angle, and he covers, current events and stuff like that. He's really worth watching. It's Monkey Works, works with a X. I think it's WERX is how he spells it for his channel name, Monkey Works. And I was watching one of his live streams. I think it was like 2 or 3 days ago, and he was suggesting that because of aerial activity from these different aircraft, that possibly like these derailments that have been happening, they may not have been just mechanical failures or a lack of safety regulations, but sabotage, potentially from a foreign power. Essentially, that's kind of like the idea that he was exploring. And I feel like that makes sense because there's been a lot of train derailments. Uh, the ones that he was talking about were, I think there's like the couple that were in Ohio. I did a video about that first one just because the imagery was crazy. There was a lot of toxic smoke because the train derailed, and then the toxic material ignited, caused a gigantic black pillar of smoke. It looked just so horrible. But after that, that was like the first one, and then after that, there have been a few more, including one here in Kansas, actually, kind of close to where I live. Although that didn't kill anybody, and it didn't really make as big a news. But if you think about what's going on in the world right now with China, Russia, you know, war. So I think warfare looks different this century than it did the last century and before, because war can be fought now in so many different ways, right? We've talked about, got to be careful with what I say here. Um, when you have a country where a lot of people get upset and change things, uh, there's been a lot of that going on, and there's the theory that we've been doing it, meaning the West. And in fact, in Georgia right now, there's one that's just taken off right now. So other nations are concerned about that being weaponized. That our side, meaning my country and others, have figured out how to stoke the flames and yeah, to overturn governments or or change things. What, is mom ready for me to?
Oh, I thought you were making a video. I was like,
I'm doing a live stream.
oh, okay. My bad.
Is she ready for me right now? She, huh?
Yeah, she's ready if you're right now. I was confused by your
Okay. Let me finish this up. Sorry, everybody. So anyway, what was I going to say? So it could be, I don't know. Just go watch Monkey Works and check that out. It's worth a watch. He's been seeing a lot of like potential troop movement and stuff like that. There's been a lot of like bolstering of our Eastern NATO ally countries. So I, who knows what this year is going to bring. I think it's going to be crazy. It's already been crazy. Okay, we have a couple of people that watch Monkey Works. All right. Well, I got to go, guys. I have to go run an errand. So, yeah, this was just going to be a short live stream. It ended up being longer than I thought it would be. We're at 31 minutes and 37 seconds. So, all right, guys, I got to go. So, enjoy the rest of your night. If I do any live streams, it'll be next week. I'm not going to be putting out any videos tomorrow. I've decided I'm just going to put out videos just during the week. For a long time, I haven't been making any videos on Sunday because I don't want to work on Sunday, but I don't even want to like schedule any videos for Sunday. So I'm just going to like do more work during the week and just put out more content. And hence that's why I've done 3 videos today. So if you're feeling like watching me, then hopefully I have you stocked up for the rest of the weekend. Okay. Well, that's going to be it. So you guys have a good night and I'll talk to you later.